Hello, welcome to Strictly Money. I'm your host, Saijal Patel. A majority of Canadians are struggling with financial stress. Now, it's hardly a surprise given the current economic environment. A recent survey by Edward Jones also shows that women are feeling the financial pressure more intensely than men. To talk about what's behind this, I'm joined by Julie Petrera. Julie is Senior Strategist of Client Needs at Edward Jones, Canada. Hi, Julie. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So money has been a top source of stress, I would say, for a while. It's intensified, though, hasn't it, over the last year? What specifically are those that the poll is pointing to?
Yeah, so the poll found that 88% of Canadians say that personal finances are impacting their overall well-being. A few things behind this. So we are in a period of high inflation. Prices are rising, which impacts affordability. We're also in a period of high interest rates. So this impacts anybody that has debt, short-term debt or long-term debt like a mortgage. So that will impact them in a couple ways that, affordability, if payments rise, and if payments don't rise, the amount of time it's going to take them to pay off that debt. And on top of that, we're in a period of economic uncertainty, which often leads to volatile financial markets and just general uncertainty. So the stress of all of these factors combined has resulted in more than half of respondents saying they feel overwhelmed when it comes to making decisions about this.
Yeah, it feels like, Julie, it's like this perfect storm that has been created. And I certainly hear it. People just feel like they're not getting a break. Julie, it's interesting because stress is often created, at least in my experience, because people just don't know what to do. And it seems like that's the case, right? They're afraid of, they don't know how to make a move. They're afraid of, making mistakes. And your poll also revealed that.
Yeah, so the poll revealed what Canadians cite as the largest causes of stress. And that includes saving for retirement, preparing for an unexpected event, saving for a down payment on a home or education, and paying off credit card debt. But to your point, the stress comes from having to make decisions about these competing priorities. So, for example, should I save for retirement or leave cash available for an emergency fund? Should I save for education or retirement? Should I save for retirement or pay off debt? And on top of that, not understanding the impact of the decision or not having the confidence that people are making the right decision, that causes stress as well.
Yeah. I also thought what was interesting is that you found that women are feeling the financial pressure more than men. And again, it's not a surprise to me because a lot of my financial education consulting focuses on women. So I see this. This is a lot more than just being emotional or being stressed for the sake of being stressed, though, isn't it? I mean, they have legitimate reasons for being stressed.
Yeah, definitely. The poll revealed that women feel financial pressure 60% of the time, whereas men feel it 49% of the time. We know that women continue to earn less than men, so rising prices, inflation, increasing mortgage payments will hit them harder. They also live longer, so when we talk about saving for retirement, they have a longer, potentially more expensive retirement to save for. And women, in many cases, are the decision makers of their household. 96% of women have primary or shared responsibility for the family's financial decisions. So the stress that comes with having to make the decision is often borne by women as well.
Yeah. Do you think, Julie, is there any indication that women, because they're starting to take more control of their wealth, and we're starting to see this, right, and especially as they're coming into more wealth, that they're more in tuned with what's involved, and maybe that's contributing to stress?
Yeah, women are starting to be more involved, and in many cases it's because they have to be. According to Statista, by the year 2030, so 7 years from now, women will control 2/3 of the world's wealth. Also, due to the longer life expectancy, women will often outlive men and therefore be required to be fully responsible for all of the finances at some point in their life. And another point on women and finances and stress, studies show that women are more risk averse and tend to report having lower financial confidence than men. Yeah. And since the stress is associated with deciding what to do, women may feel more stress about the risk associated with making the wrong decision.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. And we know that, confidence can play a role in that. We're going to take a short break, Julie, but lots more to cover here. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Julie, I want to go back to what you said earlier about some of the top concerns, right? So we have the board, we'll bring it up again. 65% cited that, saving for retirement is important, but close to that also cited that preparing for an unexpected event, sort of those shorter term goals, are also important. And I think what's interesting to me is that, many people worry about sort of emergency funds, but there's a good chance that they're not saving for something really important like retirement when you see something like this.
Yeah, and so the data shows here that people are more concerned about saving for retirement, education, and down payment than they are about credit card debt. And this is interesting and a bit concerning from a planning perspective. So we know that credit card debt is expensive since interest rates are high on that debt, and the cost to carry that is expensive. So in many cases, it's so high that it can negatively impact one's ability to meet their other goals. So when trying to balance saving for an emergency or a down payment that often results in holding cash or something that is safe and liquid, the return on something safe and liquid would be very low compared to credit card debt that's so high. So if you're paying high interest rate credit card debt, say 20%, and earning a low interest rate on savings, say 5%, the net result will be negative, meaning you could effectively be doing the opposite of saving, resulting in your net worth going down every month that you do this. So doing that will not put you in a good position to meet any of your financial goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the struggle is when you do have a lot of competing goals and you're trying to navigate these pieces. Julie, you represent an advisory firm. So what do they say about how they feel about advisors trying to help them versus trying to deal with it themselves?
Yeah, so the poll revealed that 60% of Canadians believe that a financial advisor will help them feel better about their finances. However, only 33% of Canadians surveyed are working with an advisor. So there seems to be a disconnect there. I think that's because there's a perception or a misperception that advisors are only able to provide investment advice.
Yeah.
And when it comes to investing, many people feel that they can do that themselves. But you and I know that advisors do so much more than provide investment advice. Advisors that offer comprehensive advice can help with every single item on the list of things that Canadians say are causing them stress or concern. And part of the value that advisors offer include uncovering a client's priorities. And in those priorities includes what's causing them money-related stress. So uncovering that, helping them articulate their personal goals, and then working with them to achieve those goals, whatever those goals are, which in many cases includes reducing financial stress.
Yeah, and I think you hit on a very important point. I still think, Julie, people don't understand what an advisor is. I mean, they can go to a bank representative who only sells, right? They don't do comprehensive planning and they call them an advisor. So they just assume that, advisors, like you said, only offer investment advice. But, even beyond that, they are a good sounding board. They have knowledge because they've seen all sorts of different files. And, I try to tell people, they also give you accountability. They take the emotions out when you might be, more emotional. Do you think that there's other hesitancy in terms of they feel like they don't have enough wealth? Like, do you come across that at Edward Jones?
I think that could be the case. Again, I think it's also just, they think I don't have enough money or I don't have money to invest. I don't know that they necessarily understand that advisors can help them make decisions. They can model the impact of those decisions, right? And help with some of the more efficient ways to get people to their goals. So leveraging the right account types, and helping people understand the advantages and the restrictions associated with different account types. And then this helps people make their own decisions, but with all of the necessary information in mind. And it's that clarity and ability to make an informed decision that we know works to reduce financially related stress.
Yeah. We only have 40 seconds till the end of this interview, Julie. I guess for those who are watching and they do feel stressed, what kind of advice or tip that you would you give them in terms of taking that first step?
Yeah, think about what's most important to you. Try to understand what specifically is causing stress. Consider working with a professional to model the pros and cons. So when you're making decisions, you want to understand the pros and cons of each decisions. Advisors can help you with some specifics, exactly how much you need to save, exactly when you can retire, exactly when you'll pay off debt. And having that clarity usually helps to reduce stress.
All right, Julie, we really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.